I think the text leads us to try to dig into people's intentions a lot more than just normal everyday conversation.
Yes.
I don't know what it is specifically about that, but I feel like text conversation, because so much of the nuance is lost, you spend a lot more time trying to figure out what someone meant by a message, like what
I
they really
agree.
meant by a message, you know?
No, 100%. I think when you're talking to someone, there's a body language, there's the inflection of someone's voice where, like, when someone's voice gets like a little high when they're asking something, maybe the intentions don't feel malicious there. Like it feels kind of curious or lighthearted or something. There's a lot that there's so much sensory input that you're getting when you're having a conversation with somebody that it makes it easier to, at least for you, to settle on what you think their intentions are.
But on to my next segment here. Intent. Is intent, do you believe in intent? Do you think it's something that is good, or is there an ideal of intent that you think you believe in that's real or not? I'll start off with Pooch. Lead us into this beautiful intent.
Right. So I think we're mainly talking, how much does intent matter in like a person's decision? Or well, really, it's like whether it matters, and if it does, how much does it? Or do you value outcome more than intent? I don't know. I think for some things, intent is obviously important, but I feel like a lot of people, believe it or not, say like intent is everything. And I find that to be very strange. So like, no matter what bad thing happened, as long as they had good intention, or as long as they had good intentions, or even worse, as long as they had neutral intentions, like they didn't mean bad, it's like it's all good kind of thing. I don't know. I always find that mindset to be kind of strange for me. I don't know.
No, that's that's fair. I know that we on this podcast have had arguments about this thing of someone pointing out a thing to someone else that pisses them off and hurts feelings and causes a big argument, and the excuse sometimes is, well, that's not what I meant. That's not what I intend. That's not what I intended with my words.
Yeah,
Right.
I think intent is hard to deceive. Like when you're texting, it's hard to like get the right message sometimes. So intent kind of gets muddy when you're texting. Nobody really knows how people are saying things, and you know what I mean? I think for the most part, none of us have like real bad intent towards each other. Maybe we might have like we might have things that we are bad at, but I don't think our intentions are to piss other people off and stuff like that. But yeah, I think intent matters. I think intent isn't everything, because let's say somebody buys me a gift with their intentions being, when it's their turn to birthday, whatever, I'll buy them a gift, right? Like, what if I don't buy them the gift? Then, did their intent matter when they bought me the gift? To me, not really. They just, the intent can matter sometimes, and intent can mean nothing. It depends on the person, you know what I mean, and how you're taking it.
I think intent matters all the time in almost all scenarios. Like, if I try to do you a solid, I'm doing you a solid out of the love. Like I'm not looking for anything in return. That's my intent. But that's the problem with intent, because some people can perceive it like if I buy you a gift, Poot or Doughboy, I'm not expecting you to buy me a gift for my birthday. I'm giving you a gift because it's your birthday and it's a celebration, right? That's my intent, and that's how I look at it. If you say, yo, like I feel like, hey, Pooch, I feel like Tony bought me this because he wants me to get him a gift. And it's just like, I can't stop you from thinking that way. You know what I'm saying? So it is important for what's the person's intent, because it's like, my intent is to give you a gift for your birthday. Congratulations. That's it. I don't want nothing. If intent wasn't a thing, Like if you didn't like it's whatever, then we'll just have blanket ass statements like or like just like, oh, I'm gonna just do this. Like what, but why are you doing it? Or I ask you a question because I'm the person in this group that just asks fucking questions. Maybe sometimes a question shouldn't be asked, but I'll ask it, and my intent is because I want to know. But if I had no intent, I'm just asking just to ask to be a plain dick. That's how I would view it as. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's why I think like intent is important.
So when, like, let's say somebody has an obvious
They're bald. Yeah, they're
ailment,
bald.
like your intention asking them what their ailment is, you don't think it's bad? But what if they take it as bad?
No, see, now this is the thing. My intent is to find out information, but asking a question could lead to a reaction that could be bad or good. I understand that.
Because it's rude?
Depending on the person who's viewing it, yeah, it could be rude. Yeah, 100%. I'm not gonna go up and well, I might. See, and that's just the curiosity in me. And that's the bad thing. And that's my negative thing in life. Like I have a couple negative things that I do. If I'm like fucking tired or aggravated with just shit that's going on and someone asks me a question that I know is gonna aggravate me, I try my best and sometimes do it wrong to avoid that question. Instead of just saying no, because I just don't want to tell you no or not right now, I'll just be like, I'll put like the stupid ass defense wall, and I do it quite often. And that's just me saying like, no, I don't want to talk about it right now. Let's talk about it later when I have the energy for your conversation. And that's the wrong in me because I see that it's wrong and I need to be better at it. But even though your intent is to ask me and find out information, so that's why I'm saying there's intent for, like, I believe in intent. There's people out there that don't believe in intent, and that to me is kind of weird. That's
Well,
just
it always gets weird whenever you're trying to figure out someone else's intentions.
Yeah.
Which is why I think that I tend to just not. I try to not worry about like what someone's intentions are. I like to think that their actions, their words matter more than whatever games they're trying to play in their head or not play, or trying to figure out people is impossible. Like the only way to figure out someone is to ask questions, is to ask them like, hey, just to clear up, what do you want? What do you mean by this when you said such and such? Like, people are complicated. You like if you just try to assume what people are going for or what they meant by things, then you're going to get it wrong a lot of the time.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reasonable way that you could ever really know the intentions of anyone. Even the people you trust, even they gonna lie to you right to your face. Like you could never really know. Like, but I don't know. I think obviously intent matters, right? Like, like if someone got you a gift for your birthday, right? And say that gift they got you reminds you of like a loved one that passed away or something. You might have a negative feelings about receiving that gift, but it's like, it'd be fucked up to take that out on that person if they didn't know, right? Like, like if their intent, like, if they didn't know about it, then you could only assume that their intention is, I just wanted to get this person a nice gift, right? So it's like, of course, right? In that case, intention is everything, and you don't care about the outcome, like in how you judge that person, But there's other things like if someone shot like your kid or something like that, right? I don't give a shit of any reasoning that you're going to come up with. None of your intentions matter. I don't care if you're saying like you thought there was somebody breaking in and so you pulled out your gun to shoot them. And like, I don't care, dude. Like for me, that the outcome in that situation is what matters to me. Right. And of course, there's a ton of nuance and there's a ton of gray in between these two situations, right?
Yeah.
Where intention matters a little bit more or outcome matters a little bit more. I find it a little bit weird of like Mateo hit the nail on the head with like my feelings about this conversation where people do what I perceive to be fucked up things and they hide behind their fucked up action by saying they didn't intend to do the fucked up thing, or they didn't intend to hurt no one's feelings, or they didn't intend this. And like to them, that's an adequate like apology, or like an adequate cop out. Like it's an adequate excuse. I used some slur, but it wasn't in a way to like hurt anyone's feelings. You know, it just said this word that everybody knows is not a good word, but I said it, but I didn't say it to hurt nobody's feelings. Like, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, you know, but
Are you saying like when I said the R word like 90 million times last episode?
well, sure, but that's not what I was thinking about. But yeah, something like that.
An example.
I think an interesting takeaway I have here is I hadn't realized that Tony and you are both probably the most curious people that I've ever met in my life. You just have different approaches to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tony is just like up front. He will ask the awkward question because he just wants to know. He has to know what the story is with such and such. And Pucho, you will analyze every single interaction just because you want to get to that truth of what caused things to go this way.
He wants the person to reveal it on their own. I'm not giving them that option. I'm like ripping it from you.
I think
sometimes
sure.
I'd be straight up and be like, "Hey, why'd you do that thing?"
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have an answer that I don't think is adequate, but mainly because I don't think it gets to the root of. Well, not that I don't think. I know it's not getting to the root of something. Like it's kind of like a wishy-washy answer. I know that answer contradicts other things that they do. So I'm like, you really don't believe that. Like there's something else under. You have this different belief that maybe you haven't vocalized. That, you know, all these things in combination, you're not contradicting yourself. You just believe something different than what you're really saying. Not because you mean to lie. Maybe you just haven't really thought about it. Like you just have a general feeling of you know how to interact, or you know,
maybe that's why we bump heads on certain shit. Heavy pooch, because our way that we go about asking and looking for answers. Like you have a more subtle approach, I guess, and I just don't have a subtle approach to it. And that's a nicer way of putting it, right?
well, no, not nicer. I don't think it's a matter of subtlety because I just ask straight up.
To certain
I just
people,
think that I'm asking the questions tactfully. I'm not like I wouldn't like. There's certain questions I wouldn't ask. No, I wouldn't. Like if I saw a bald person, I wouldn't ask them why they're bald. Like if they don't have hair on their eyebrows, I'm gonna assume cancer, and I could be wrong, but it's never important for me to know that whether a stranger has cancer or not. Like so, it's just I wouldn't ask that question, right? Like that's a level of curiosity that I don't care about. Like if I see a one-legged person, I'm not gonna ask how you lost your leg. Like that's just it might be a sore topic, or it's just I'm not. I might be interested. I might be curious to know because I guess it's human nature. It's my nature. I don't know. But I know that I wouldn't ask the question unless I get very familiar with this person and I know that this question isn't going to be perceived to be like offensive or make them uncomfortable or anything like that.
In my defense, my body, my mind, my soul has a natural aura to where people just convey informations to me. People just come to me in a happy form. Oh, and Doughboy's seen this firsthand. People just are drawn to me and just want to talk to me. So when I ask certain questions that normal people without my aura would be like, you're going to get a different response. Usually what happens. I don't know. Maybe that's called.
If you ask me, a lot of people gravitate towards Tony. Tony has a very proby kind of way that he always asks, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? What's this? He just kind of like asks questions. Pucho kind of like investigates. He has like a different way of doing
and
things.
I hate that shit sometimes because it's almost the same as beating around the bush. correct me if I'm wrong, Pooch. Like you're doing investigation, and it's like you're just
you do
beating
the
around
same
the bush.
thing, but
no,
you're
I just
just
go
like-
through the bush. I'm like the
you just-
Hawaiian Punch Man. Like, hey, I just breaking through people's fences and shit. It's just like, you know what I mean, and just ask the question. Like I'm fuck this 90-page essay. Let's go. What is the answer? Like you know what I mean? And
Doey also attracts some nonsense in his life, though. I don't know if that's just living in New York is just like that city is full of nonsense. But
oh my god,
there's also some nonsense that you attract in your life, Doey.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just my face. I have like a stupid face. Everybody just looks at me and they're like, "This is the guy."
I don't think you have a
This is the
stupid
guy.
face. I think you have a face like people be like, we can push this guy's button and he's not gonna assault us. Probably face like you're just a nice guy face. You know what I mean? Like if you look at Pucho and you push his buttons, this nigga's likely to give you an uppercut, real swift and clean. You know what I mean? It's just people have that aggressive look. Pucho has an aggressive look. Doughboy, you have a. I can get punched in the face and I probably won't do nothing face like that. People have faces, bro. Just saying. Let me punch you in the face one time.
He's talking about how some people have resting bitch faces and other people don't. I've been told that I have a resting bitch face, a resting angry face.
Niggas
My dad
tight.
has an angry face too. Like when we were kids, like all we'd hang out in the neighborhood. My kids will come over to the house. They'll see my dad and they'll be like, "Why is your dad angry?" And I'd look at my dad and I'd be like, "He's actually quite happy right now." like my dad's resting face is just pissed off. Like I could look pissed off. Me and my brothers, we all have a very pissed off face. I don't know. Maybe it's a defense mechanism. I don't know.
Like, don't miss me with that bullshit. Don't come to me. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
talk to you. That's the face you guys got.
Tony's way though is like he'll walk into like a bar. Like this is how I adjust to the bar, right? I got a black t-shirt on, I got my glasses, I got a watch, nothing, very low key. Like no one's gonna pick anything out of what I'm wearing, right? Tony will go to the bar with this Cowboys hat, with like a Celtics jersey, with fucking some bumper stickers on his car. So like now people can look at the things that he has and like there's now questions, there's like interactions that are formalizing to them. So like, like the Cowboys just lost on Friday, right? Someone might go up to Tony and be like, "Oh, you guys had a tough game on Friday," right? I don't get those types of interactions, but those things happen to Tony. Tony wears these things that attract attention, I think.
No, Tony also walks into a bar basically rubbing his hands and looking around for where he can cause the most chaos. Like he's scoping out like
Tony
where
loves
what
doing
seat
that.
is he gonna sit at? Who looks like they're gonna have the best conversation for him?
I just
out
want
of
to see
all
the
these
world
random
burn.
people.
That's all. I just want to see the world burn. Like, no, I don't
To-
fucking go to bars to look for arguments.
To-
I go to
Tony-
bars to have fun. All right.
Tony loves interacting with NPCs is what's going on in his life.
Yes.
He wants every side quest available.
That's the opposite. I hate seeing 100 side quests on the. I hate that shit. But nah, like, bro, it's fun interacting with people. Like, and I think that's a gift and a curse. Like, because there'll be some weirdos. And my intent is to be there and have a good time and have a casual conversation with a complete stranger to see their view and aspect of life and what they've been through. Sometimes I bite off a little bit more than I can chew. And and vice versa for the person I'm talking to. But most of the time I'm there to mind my fucking business and randos hit me up. That's usually what happens. Everybody in this party besides Mateo have seen that firsthand. So yeah.
Yeah, it'd be the way like we're at the bar and the plays are happening we're watching football at the bar and the way Tony's like jumping up and getting excited and he's like oh like other people around could see that he's invested in the game and that just it's another topic. It's like another conversation like starting point. And it's like me, I got the resting face. I'll be at the bar completely in happiness with the stone cold killer face, just staring at the TV, no reaction. And I'll be like, man, this is really good. Like afterward, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's how emotive people could be and things like that is how Tony be attracting attention. But this is a whole
Segment.
a whole
Tangent.
segue.
This is a tangent.
Well,
This has been a major tangent.
What's the intent of his actions at the bar?
My intent is to have a good
Yo,
time.
no, but Tony, like you said, Tony does this thing where he just will start looking around and he'll see like somebody's going for the other team and then intentionally say something loud enough for that person to hear. I've seen Tony do it. Those soft ass Dolphins.
If my team is playing against a rival team, right, and I see the rival fans, as soon as my team scores, I'm gonna be an extra, just 1 decibel. Be like, "Bah! Bum ass niggles," and then they're gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, he's a Cowboys fan, I see." And then when they score, they look at me and they'll say something. Then I'll be like, "Yeah," I'll look at them, and it goes from there. And then it becomes friendly conversation. We'll buy each other beers. Side note, real quick, me and my uncle spent like $500 at a bar one time, separately, because of that. He's a Patriots fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. We went to a bar in Boynton Beach, and we met other Patriot fans, retired cops, firefighters, whatever, governor shit. There was a whole bar of 8 people, and everybody's buying each other rounds of drinks. First time I ever did an Irish car bomb. Some Guinness type drink. That was disgusting. Most disgusting drink ever. And I had a great time. When I saw that bill, I immediately wanted to throw up. That was the highest bill I've ever, just me alone. $500.
That's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of money at the bar.
I was just like, yeah, I blew a check right now. A little check right now. I just blew it on beers and shots. But memories. Always keep memories.
500, that's some next level shit. Remember that one time that Brian dragged us to the bar?
Oh, y'all called me, harassed me? Yeah, I remember that night.
I spent like $180 that day at the bar. And that was the most I've ever spent at the bar.
Oh my God.
There were 13 of us, and we were all taking turns doing like buying a round to the table of Patron. So it's like an expensive, it ain't that expensive, but it's like it's a name brand shit. So at bars they charge you like a little extra. That shit was pricey. Yeah, I bought 2 rounds, and so 26 shots came out to $100 and some change. Like, and I was like, man, we should have just bought a fucking bottle and just chill. But it's not as fun, we're at the bar.
No, you're right.
But anyhow, talking about intent, the most fun I've ever had watching any sporting event.
Oh,
I met Tony and Everett up at the bar.
Duffy's.
And we went, we were at a Duffy's, a sports bar. And, we buying some drinks, chilling. And then it was like a UFC night. Ronda Rousey was fighting Holly Holmes, I think her name was. And, we read the room really quick. And we peeped that we don't really watch UFC, so we don't really care. But the entire room were Ronda Rousey fans.
Everyone.
The whole room. We read the room and we're like, oh shit. We're like, let's make this shit interesting. So then we started like being Holly Holmes fans, even though we're not Holly Holmes. We're just haters. We just wanted to hate.
Is this when she beat her too?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when Holly Holmes knocked out Ronda Rousey. But it was hilarious. Once the fight started, it was like any little, like if Holly Holmes just tapped Ronda Rousey, all 3 of us were like, like we were going so extra. Yeah, everybody was slowly like hating us. Like
you felt the
and
tension.
then every time she landed a punch, we were acting crazy. And then when she got knocked out, forget about it. It was pin drop silent in this bar. Everybody's mouth was dropped, shocked. They couldn't believe Ronda Rousey could lose a fight, except for the fact that the 3 of us were screaming like we just won the World fucking Series or something. like it was we were hugging, like we're spilling our drinks everywhere. It was so ridiculous. And that was, and then I swear to God, I was like, we're about to fight like 100 motherfuckers right now. We're gonna get crazy jump, like, because like the vibes were that bad. Like, everybody was looking at us like these pieces of shit. Like, and that was fun. And our intentions there were purely malicious. It was well, I wouldn't say purely, because part of it was I want to have fun, but we viewed it as a zero-sum game. My fun came from making everybody else upset,
Yep.
which was it was the best fun I've ever had,
Yeah.
which is kind of bad. Makes you wonder, right? Could we ever indulge in just like pure fun without hurting anybody? I don't know.
That's a segue right there. That's a segue opportunity right there.
Did you get your chair, Pucho?
I purchased it. It's coming August 26th, allegedly.
Okay, so in a few weeks.
So it's like another 10 days before I get noticed that it's not coming for another 2 weeks or something.
Oh
So
my God.
Your office would look real good black, though.
Yes.
I know. People hating. People hate. I'm
Some-
gonna paint my room black.
Some people ask questions about that with weird intentions. Like, why do you want to paint your room black?
Yeah, that's a weird
But
question.
why can't I ask that?
I never say you couldn't. It's just weird. Especially like
Is there a
especially
reason why you want to paint it black? Is there something that you're going for? Do you want not a lot of light to be picked up, or is there something aesthetically you're going for?
Ultimately, I just think the room would look cool black.
Okay, cool.
I don't know,
No, that's it.
but isn't that the whole like drive to painting it? It's just weird because you're like, I don't know. It's not what I would do. You know, I would pick light colors.
A dark gray instead of a black.
Right.
Like Lisi was talking about it. Why? Because personally, I think black in a room, like it sucks all the light from the room. Like it's gonna be very hard to get light to bounce off of the wall. It's just it's not conductive to how a room should work.
You know, I like to be in the dark, right?
Yeah, no, me too. Half of the time I'm
gonna get a lot of colorful lights in the room. So it's gonna look like I'm the fucking, I don't know, the captain of the USS Enterprise, except that the room's gonna be blacked out. There's gonna be a lot of colorful buttons, have my own data.
What if you get some of that paint that's like the darkest paint in the world, so it just absorbs light and doesn't actually reflect any? So you just have those light panels on there and there's no glow around them. It's just the lights themselves. Shit would look cool.
Nuts. Yeah.
That would be cool. I heard that you can't be in a room with that paint in the wall. You would get dizzy and disoriented after a while.
I think that the text leads us to try to dig into people's intentions a lot more than just normal everyday conversation.
Yes.
I don't know what it is specifically about that, but I feel like text conversation, because so much of the nuance is lost, you spend a lot more time trying to figure out what someone meant by a message, like what they really meant by a message, you know?
No, 100%. I think when you're talking to someone, there's a body language, there's the inflection of someone's voice where, like, you know, when someone's voice gets like a little high when they're asking something, maybe the intentions don't feel malicious there. Like it feels kind of curious or lighthearted or something. There's a lot that there's so much sensory input that you're getting when you're having a conversation with somebody that it makes it easier to, at least for you, to settle on what you think their intentions are. When someone just asks you just a straight up question and that's it, and you just read words in text, you're like, huh, like, what do you think they meant by that? Like, why would they ask that question at that moment? Like, I don't know.
So many of our One Up podcast group chat arguments really kick off to the next level the second that someone says, yo, why are you coming at me so aggressive? That's the start of like, it's like, oh, this is when I get 20 messages in a row now of everyone arguing about how they're not actually arguing.
100%.
But to be fair, no question makes someone more mad than asking them why they're mad.
Why are you upset?
It's not I don't mind if someone's like, yo, why are you upset? And I'm like, nah, I'm not upset. It's the insisting that you're upset that gets pissing me off. It's like, dude, I'm telling you that I'm not mad. It kind of feels like you're trying to get me mad.
Bait you.
It sounds like you're trying to aggravate me right now. That's what it feels like. But that does piss me off. But I be trying to control myself. I'm trying to think. I don't remember what the exact situation was at whatever point, but I just was one day was like, you know what, I need to change like how I talk, and I feel like I do pretty good. I could think of maybe one or two instances in like the last like 5 or 6 years that I've like, like insulted somebody, like with those types of intentions. Like almost all of the arguments that I have with somebody, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm abusive or something. I don't know. Maybe someone would say that, but almost all the arguments that I have with somebody, I'm just asking questions. I'm just like trying to, figure out like where you came from when you did something that bothered me or vice versa, right? And we're just trying to get to the bottom of it. And I feel like it's other people that get pissed off in the midst of those questions, that then the conversation goes left and people start yelling or calling each other names and blah blah. I feel like for the most part, I've made crazy efforts to like not scream, not curse, like just kind of play it chill in these conversations. Like I said, I've slipped up. But I feel like that is where conversations go wrong, is that a lot of people are so willing to just take it to low, like just make it a bad conversation. It's like start yelling, start cursing, like all these things are like ultra negative, and it could set other people off. And I feel like the eagerness to get to stoop to that level makes a lot of otherwise, would be fruitful conversations into just like pointless like screaming matches or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I
I don't
agree.
even know how we got there, to be honest.
No, intent.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface of intent, because like I have so many questions. Because like they'll be
ahead.
like, well, I'm just saying, like, people will say something offensive, right? And then they'll just be like, no, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to be offensive when I said that offensive thing. I have a hard time like accepting that. It almost and it's also like not an apology. People fucking hate apologizing.